Think, nope, it's afternoon. Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Pretty
Boy,
nice.
the morning really flew by. I am Tony Vetta. I am President and CEO of the North Texas LGBT Chamber of Commerce. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm so glad you're all here with us today. Uh, Something that I've been focusing on lately with groups that I talk to is how important the work that we do is in creating community, just by bringing people together and focusing on the things that we have in common when we come together, and how important that is because we're never all going to agree on everything, as we've noticed in the political field. But uh, but yeah, I'm glad you're all here. The LGBTBE program is one that we've supported. It's a program of the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce that we facilitate locally, but it's something that we've been working on since the very first time it was introduced. A longtime member of ours who recently passed away, I think, was our first LGBT BE many years ago, probably 18 or so. Um, Anyhow, um, I hope that you all will learn something in today's program. I also want to make sure that I always manage expectations somewhat, and I know Lisa does this as well. Becoming certified, I like to tell people, is not the end of the journey, it's the beginning of it. So, yes, there's some work involved, but once you get certified, it's not if you build it, what they will come. There's still work to be done. And chances are, most of our members will not be a prime um, um, supplier to a major corporation. But that doesn't mean that business can't come your way because you are LGBT certified. All the corporations that we deal with are corporate partners. They may be under contract with certain businesses for certain things. That doesn't mean that they don't occasionally have need for a one-off something. And so, you won't get a chance if you're not in the mix. So I hope all of you who are not certified will continue to uh, participate in this program. We have a third uh, episode, I guess, coming up in another month, and pursue your certification so we can make sure that we have you on our list when our members are asking for an LGBT certified business to supply them with goods or services. So with that, I will bow out and turn it over to Ryan.
Yeah.
Hey friends, my name is Ryan Wilson. I use he, him pronouns. I am actually the Director of Corporate Relations for the Greater Houston LGBTQ plus Chamber of Commerce. And we really appreciate the opportunity to partner across Texas with the North Texas Chamber. So let's get started.
That was such a short intro for you, Ryan.
Were you ready, Mario?
I know. Like, where's the rest of it? All
I,
right. So,
I took some of his time, I'm afraid. So
oh,
yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
tend to do that. It's all right. Well, and for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mario. I am at Wells Fargo. I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth market area, specifically sitting within auto product transformation. So, directly related to what we're talking about today. But I'd like to say, really where my passion is around all the work that the bank allows me to do with plugging into our community. And so I do that with our leading our ERG here in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, as well as being a lead at the national level with NGLCC and bringing really programming like this to the different chambers across the United States. So this is our third year doing this. What I like about it is it unlocks a different level of engagement for us rather than just sponsoring a chamber as is and all the programs that they have. It's really trying to drive a specific outcome. And so here we're really we see the value in what an LGBTBE certification can mean for a diverse owned business. And we're hoping that by bringing the education and as well as in some cases being able to support the actual certification cost for you, we're able to see more businesses flourish because of that, which is ultimately what our goal is to drive small business in the market. So thank you for allowing me to sit in, and I guess I'll kick it over to you guys.
Thank you, Mario. So, I think most of you were with us on part one, which is a kind of why to get certified. We are going to review a little bit of that and then really drill down into the how to. But just some review. So the NGLCC and the North Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Houston LGBTQ plus Chamber of Commerce were all three separate independent organizations, but we partner with one another to best support our local LGBTQ plus business community. So as a member of either of our chambers, North Texas or Houston, the LGBTBE certification fees are waived. Okay, done. So NGLCC, they encourage you to join your local chamber, and their certification fee without being a member is $899. So if you join our chamber for $405, and I think we have similar rates with Houston, you're saving some money, and you could even join at $605 and get more for your membership and still save money for certification. So you want to be a member of your local affiliate chamber and waive that fee. So we all work together across the country directly to support and advocate for LGBTQ plus business owners in our local markets, and the NGLCC supports national efforts for LGBTQ plus business advocacy. To let you know a little bit more about North Texas LGBTQ Chamber, we turn 20 years old next year, and our mission is to achieve equality through business. We have about over 420 members, and we organize over 13 networking events per month in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Plano areas. We have a wonderful and long relationship with the NGLCC where we rely on them for chamber staff education, connections with corporate partners, like we have with Mario and Wells Fargo. And we just got back from their conference where we did some matchmaking. So Tony and I were able to meet with State Farm, or we had matchmaking meetings with other, maybe JP Morgan Chase, but all these different matchmaking. And I know Houston was right there with us meeting those corporate partners. And we have advocacy partnerships. We have a lot going on right now with signing certain letters and making sure that we're talking to elected officials. It's mostly right now about supplier diversity and DEI programs that seem to be at risk. And there are grant opportunities for us as chambers and grant opportunities for our members, like our Grubhub grant. So those are kind of the ways that we work together. And I want to open it up to Ryan to see what he wants to say about the Greater Houston Chamber.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. And for Mario's benefit, this is when I'm going to take a little more time than I did earlier. Let me just tell you all a little bit more about the Houston Chamber. So we launched in 2016. And in fact, the North Texas Chamber is part of what we say is part of our DNA. Tony was incredibly helpful in helping us launch the chamber, and we wouldn't be here without him and the advice and guidance from North Texas. So we're really grateful for the partnership we have with y'all. We will be celebrating our 9th year in February. And we like to say that we sit at the intersection of the business world and the LGBT community in Houston. We really try and bridge the gap between business folks and the LGBT community. We have almost 500 members and close to 65 what we call impact partners. Most of those are what we call corporate partners, but we use the word impact because we have some hospitals and nonprofits as well that are investing in the chamber in a way that really makes a big impact. We host almost about 100 events a year with monthly events for networking and connecting. We just had our 3rd Thursday breakfast this morning with almost 100 people there. And our big signature event is our Pride in Business luncheon and award celebration. Last year we had 750 people attend. And we did our first Thrive Small Business Summit and Matchmaker last year, and we're getting ready to do another one this coming January. We've worked with the NGLCC over the last 9 years to try and help and recruit as many LGBTQ plus owned businesses to get that LGBTBE certification. As someone who works with the corporate partners, I know that many of them have supplier diversity goals, and they really want to see that certification so that they can get supplier diversity credit for working with these companies. And I'm always trying to get them to think creatively about how are you using those corporate dollars to shop local, but to shop LGBT-owned businesses. And to learn more about our chamber, you can visit our website at houstonlgbtchamber.com. where we have our calendar of events and where we talk about our certification as well. Back to y'all.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Y'all do such good work in Houston. Congratulations. And I think I skipped a slide. And we'll put our contact info and websites up at the end of the slideshow. So thank you. So NGLCC was founded in 2002 and is the direct link between LGBTQ plus business owners, corporations, and government partners. So like City of Houston, your city includes LGBTBEs in their diverse spend. So in addition to being the link between LGBTQ business owners, corporations, and governments, NGLCC leads national policy advocacy on LGBTQ economic inclusion. They founded the NBIC, which I'll talk about later, which is so important right now. NGLCC has over 75 domestic and international affiliate chambers, and they are the exclusive certifying body for LGBTBEs. Don't get certified as an LGBT business owner anywhere else. This is the official third-party certifier, and there are over 2,000 certified LGBTBEs. So the NGLCC has over 450 corporate partners, and they work with these corporations to connect them with LGBTQ plus businesses for contracting opportunities. Their founding corporate partners are listed on this slide, including American Airlines, Wells Fargo, EY. But you can check out NGLCC's website for a full list of corporate partners. We feel great about sharing some corporate partners that we see, like Wells Fargo, American Airlines, JP Morgan Chase, and we do some work with EY. Anyone in Houston you want to brag about, Ryan?
Yeah, we're really grateful for our partnerships with United, Comcast, and of course, Wells Fargo. But we also have some corporate partners that aren't members of the NGLCC, and we're always encouraging them to support both the national effort and support us locally in Houston.
Oh, that's a great point. So all of us work together to help corporate partners have an impact nationally and in their strategic locations. So Wells Fargo is a great example of that, having this national impact, but also here locally, whether it's just in North Texas or across Texas, like in Houston. What is supplier diversity? The intentional inclusion of socially and or economically disadvantaged group in procurement opportunities. I remember in part one, Mario talked a lot about policymakers and lawmakers that are creating obstacles for supplier diversity, and the chambers working together and working with other diverse business organizations help us stay ahead of some of the roadblocks that are being thrown at us. So we know that the cost savings, the efficiency, and innovation benefits of supplier diversity are going to win in the end. But we are all working together as one strong voice to get through this more difficult time. But think about there's strength in numbers, and we talk a lot about the benefits to you as an individual business for getting certified. But there's broader benefits as a whole community when we have more than 2,000 LGBTBEs and when we're adding another 1,000 and another 1,000. So we would love to have more BEs just for sometimes the strength and the visual in addition to the benefits that you get individually. So the NGLCC has resources. They work to, so they have their supplier diversity team, and those are the people who help business owners through this certification process, and they get to work on the benefits, distribute opportunities to LGBTBEs, and then their stakeholder engagement center works with the corporate relations team to refer qualified LGBTBEs for requests for proposals, like those RFPs that come through, and other business development opportunities. So we do that also here locally. We try to connect our LGBTBEs with the local things that we get maybe from a school district or a city of Arlington or any of our corporate members that send us RFPs. The engagement team at NGLCC proactively looks for opportunities to pair complementary businesses for projects they can tackle as a team. So sometimes it takes more than one supplier to fulfill a contract, or maybe it's a tier 2, like a subcontractor. And they also foster more viable matches The engagement team facilitates hand-matched meetings between certified suppliers and corporate partners. And they do this in person once or twice a year in person at their conferences, but they also do it online. Their matchmaking events virtually a few times a year, where maybe you pitch or maybe you show your capability statement and you get feedback from corporate suppliers. So lots of different, whether it's in person, virtual, just in a portal, lots of different opportunities to connect for the LGBTBEs. Who can get certified? For-profit businesses that are at least 51% owned, operated, and controlled by an LGBTQ person or persons. All right, so now we'll jump into more of the how-to. So first, you're going to complete your business profile at my.nglcc.org. And this is where you start your application. So you click on sign up to start your application. And start that connection to, they say they have 2,300 LGBTBEs. That's good. And over 450 corporate partners. So once you click join now, then you'll get to start filling in information on your business profile. So this is where you add information like your contact information, your website, your business legal structure. You'll see down here where it says affiliated with. You want to make sure that you put that you're affiliated, whether it's with the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber or maybe it's with the North Texas LGBT Chamber. Because when they start assigning people to site visits, if you don't put who you're connected with, sometimes they don't know, like, I live in Carrollton, and sometimes they don't know Carrollton's not in San Antonio or Carrollton's not in Houston. So you want to put who you're associated with, and that way they can match you up with the appropriate site visits. It's helpful and saves on time.
Lisa?
Yes.
Morris here.
Hey, Marcia.
Who would we fill in that field? The chamber's information, or?
Well, this is all your business information, but right here under this diversity, it says affiliated with.
Right.
And so that's capital area, that's Washington, D.C., and you would get to put North Texas LGBT Chamber there.
That's what thank you. Yeah, that answers it.
Mm-hmm. And the more you put in, like your social info, the better. I would say even when you click on my profile, I would say even you want to put in your picture. Just the more you have showing, the more welcoming you look, the more professional, and the more contacts or people reaching out to you. And then I like this. They tell you, if it's complete or not with green check marks, and we'll see that throughout kind of these steps. So that is your business profile. Any questions about that? So the next thing you'll do is upload supporting documents. So here are the requirements for every business. So proof of U.S. citizenship or permanent residency, a brief history of your business or business plan, a resume or bio for each LGBTQ owner on the application, and an LGBTQ status qualifier for each owner on the application. Additional documents are requested based on your business structure, and it's already like programmed to do that. So for example, for an LLC, the NGLCC would request a copy of your articles of organization and most recent Form 1040 Schedule C from your tax return. Once you reach this step, the portal will display exactly which documents are needed based on your business structure. So you don't have to guess, or it'll tell you exactly what you need. And then you'll get to check these off as you submit them. So those are the 4 things there. And then to dive deeper into the LGBTQ status qualifier, and depending on how big your screen is, you may not be able to see all of these, but there's lots of ways to show proof. So LGBTQ owners submit an LGBTQ status qualifier. So as you can see, there are lots of options of documents for folks to submit, including marriage certificates, personal reference letters. Owners should submit whatever documents they feel most comfortable sharing. So there's marriage and divorce and death certificates. Sorry about that. There's maybe if you file your taxes jointly, or you have you're listed on a lease together, or gosh, there's so many different things. And then also proving a transgender owned business. There's things like forms or bills for gender affirming surgery, notarized physician letters, gender marker changes on documents. Tony, you have a question? Hold on, you're on mute.
Because I sound better that way. Did you already go over the chamber affidavit?
No.
Oh, okay. I jumped.
This is a good place to do it. This is a good place to do it. You go for it, please.
So, so some of these documentations, I have to tell you, the second company that became certified was a lesbian-owned print shop, and I was the board secretary at the time and had to write a letter as the status qualifier. And I kept thinking, I don't know what to write here. I mean, I have no carnal knowledge of, I know these two women, but I don't know that they're lesbians. Yeah, it was just kind of silly. But the NGLCC now allows chambers to write a single letter that will affirm that you're a member of the LGBTQ community and also that you're a member in good standing. So that will serve as both your status qualifier and your fee waiver for the registration fee. So if you're not, for the people who are not working with their local LGBT chamber, they're losing out, because that is truly the easiest way to do this. Work with your local chamber. We're happy to write letters on behalf of our members, and because we know who our members are and we've met with them, that just makes it a whole lot easier for everybody.
Thank you, Tony.
That's all. You bet.
So yeah, when you're logged in and this pops up, it gives you all sorts of different ways that you can give that status qualifier. Then what this looks like is, yes, Morris.
On this affidavit, owner owned information. I have Kim and Cindy as the owners, and I'm the operations manager, basically. So I take care of everything to do with the business of the roofing company. So would I fill out information about me or just the owners?
Just the owners.
Okay.
And I'll jump in later on when we do the site visit. There are questions that we'll ask, so we will talk with you and the owners, and we'll go over who's responsible for what. And that's certainly acceptable that in your role you're responsible for certain things and certain decision making. Ultimately, it's the owners who make other decisions. But yes, Lisa's correct. It would be the owners, but you will be involved later in the process.
Okay, in answer to that, response to that, is that we don't have a physical site. Yeah, so we operate out of our homes.
That's fine.
Yeah, most of these are virtual anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, unless you're a printer or something where you have specialized equipment, we have a lot of home-based businesses, and one of the first questions is, does this company have the appropriate equipment, and do they know how to use it? And it's like, well, they have a computer and a phone. So yeah, I guess so. Which is, all you need for the majority of businesses, unless you're in some kind of manufacturing. So that is not a problem at all.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Oh, while I have you interrupted, we did get a couple of emails I just noticed from people who were having a hard time getting in. Glenn from
Glenn is in.
My God.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. And Elise Dulesky, did you make it in?
She's here.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, I was just a little worried. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'll
Thank you.
leave you all alone now.
So thanks. So here's where you upload documents, and depending on what you've said, if you're LLC or something different, different things will pop up here. So this is where you go to put in your files. And once you have put in what you need to, so let's say resume biography, and you have, 2 people who are LGBTQ need to be put in there. Once you've put both of them, then this little purple will turn into a green check mark, and everyone loves a green check mark. So, but you'll have to put in your proof of residency, your qualifier, your 1040 Schedule C. So, it tells you exactly what you're missing, and will make that green check mark appear when you have completed those steps. So your third step for certification is to complete that site visit, which is some of our most favorite things here. Let me find where I am in my script. So usually, well, all of us, Tony, Eric, and I all do site visits here. I think Jack does most of them in Houston, but you'll get a chance to do a site visit with your local chamber. And what you'll do is you'll wait to hear from the person who's going to perform your site visit. So it might be me reaching out to Morris to schedule that. And we'll just do it virtual, probably just like this. If you have sent in your paperwork and you feel like a long time has gone by, that you haven't been notified, go back to that screen before and make sure all your boxes have the green check mark. Then you might want to contact your local affiliate chamber. But if we have not gotten an email saying it's time to set up the site visit, we'll then tell you that you need to contact the NGLCC, and you'll be able to contact them once you're in here better, and then we'll have their contact information at the end. But a lot of times, sometimes you get sent to the wrong chamber, and or you're sitting in someone's inbox. That doesn't happen a lot. Sorry, I said a lot of times. Every now and then, maybe you're at the wrong chamber. Maybe you haven't fulfilled all of these. Just reach out if you think too much time has gone by. So here's how site visits go. They usually take place virtually now. Every now and then we can do them in person if you really want to. It's a brief informational interview about you and your business. And the purpose of the site visits are really to verify the information that you've been putting in and providing in the application, to kind of ensure that integrity of the certification, provide that face-to-face or, screen-to-screen. With new members, for us, it's fun. We get to learn a lot more about why you started your business, a lot more about what motivated you, what got you to that point to start your own business. We learn a lot of fun stuff about people that way. We maybe find possible inaccuracies or mistakes in the application that we want to make that really clean, keep the integrity of these certifications, and work with LGBTBEs to leverage certification for their business goals. I know as we answer questions, I think, oh my gosh, I have got to introduce you to this person, or I need to introduce you to that company, because we learn more about you. We have done this for so many other members and other businesses. We just kind of automatically think, oh, so I know that every site visit I leave thinking, oh, I'm going to introduce that person to like 3 of these people right away, or a couple of corporate partners right away. So we enjoy doing the site visits. So your completed application will be reviewed by the NGLCC's National Certification Committee. They conduct the final review at monthly meetings and make the ultimate certification decision. And after the meetings, the supplier diversity team will reach out to you with that final decision. This is at the national level. This is no longer here locally. This is at the national level. They'll reach out to you with that final decision and your certification materials. And your NGLCC certification fee is waived if you are a member of your local affiliate chamber. And if you're already paying membership dues, which I think everyone on here is already members of ours, then doing this is absolutely free of charge. And
Yeah.
me, Tony, or Eric will.
How much is the certification fee if you're not a member?
$899.
Yes, it is. It is $900. So your chamber membership is well worth the cost for your certification.
Absolutely. And so then you get a certificate. So we talked about this a little bit last time. We'll run through benefits of certification, receiving national recognition by America's top corporations as an NGLCC certified LGBTBE, and gain access to corporate partners, as well as fellow certified LGBTBE companies on your my.nglcc.org access. That's where you get all of those connections and access. And I talked to a publisher in an LGBTBE publisher in the airport on the way to the conference, Jen T. Grace, and she said she logs into my.nglcc and just reaches out to people and makes connections all the time, because these people are all over the country. You get the use of the NGLCC certified LGBTB logo on your website and marketing materials. You can attend their International Business and Leadership Conference, and what we just got back from in Palm Springs, but it moves. It's going to be in Las Vegas next year. As well as NGLCC has regional events with special access to opportunities for certified companies. You get paired for matchmaker meetings with supplier diversity professionals, and you can do matchmaking with other certified LGBTBEs as well. And like I said, these could go on once a month. You can practice your pitch. These go on once a month. They go on annually. And Ryan, I want to let you talk.
Yeah, I just want to jump in and add, I don't think our community utilizes the logo enough. I mean, we were just in New Orleans the other weekend, and we walked into a shop that had two Black-owned business logos on different parts of their front window and then on the register. I've been at farmers markets where I've seen the actual tent has been printed with like women-owned business logos, and I really think it is an important signature to say we are a minority-owned business, and like putting that logo out there, leading with that, when you can have that sort of front-facing for customers, I think is a really, really big deal.
I think that's a great point. Yeah, thank you. And the same with the North Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. You've got a membership sticker, or you've got a logo that you can put. And does Houston have the same? You have like a member of? Yeah, both certified and just member of a local chamber. Great point. So other business development opportunities from NGLCC, there's educational development webinars and professional development opportunities. They have a mentorship program. It's open to LGBTBEs who have been certified for at least 1 year, and connects BEs with corporate representatives and seasoned LGBTBEs for a year-long relationship in which you engage in professional development. At the conference, they had a pitch competition, like a Shark Tank type thing. And I was sitting at a table with a woman from Macy's, and one of the people pitching, he got up to pitch his business, and it was about a skincare product. And she had been his mentor for a year, for him going up there and doing that pitch. And she was so proud, and they were so excited. But what a great connection, someone with that much expertise. And then he has all that knowledge and experience to go up and pitch for his business. So that's mentorship is always good. And we locally, Toyota has intermittently, I think it got disrupted due to COVID, but they're kind of getting back in. But Toyota here has a mentorship program that we always get to recommend some of our members to participate in. NGLCC also hosts monthly webinars. Sometimes they're specific to a commodity or growth area. They include the wisdom and knowledge of seasoned LGBTBEs and corporate partners. The sip and pitch that's done on Fridays is so good. There's so much good feedback, and those corporate partners They have nothing but the best intent. They're so knowledgeable and they have a good time and they really make it a good experience for everyone. And we've probably had about 3 people do the sip and pitch in the last 12 months. And I know Houston has. When I've tuned in, I've seen some Houston members on there too. So some corporate opportunities. So corporate partners, they will reach out to NGLCC with those RFPs and with those opportunities. So NGLCC, the more knowledge they have about you, the better your business directory looks, the better matchmaking they can do. They send in GLCC information on procurement, networking, and matchmaker events, serve as mentors to the NGLCC mentorship program. So those are the things the corporate partners are doing. What the NGLCC does for you is they send they match RFPs to relevant, send contact and capability information of relevant LGBTBEs to corporate partners, and they alert LGBTBEs of upcoming opportunities and deadlines. So a lot of good benefits there. A reminder about tiered contracting. They're a great way to get your foot in the door. So when it comes to corporate contracting, there are tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers. A tier 1 supplier invoices a corporation directly for goods and services, and a tier 2 supplier will invoice a tier 1 supplier to the corporation. So, but there are many opportunities for LGBTBEs, including teaming up with other diverse owned businesses to take on larger contracts. So their example here is a large marketing firm. Well, they may outsource the graphic design, or they may outsource the printing, or outsource that promotional items. So just an example of how the tier 1 and the tier 2 could work in contracting.
My hand is up again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make this last the full hour, no matter what, or go over time. Lisa, will you go back a slide?
Absolutely.
If you can. So when we look at this, way back in the olden days, we used to talk about the supplier diversity wallet, basically. And I remember doing some workshops pre Lisa when I was all by myself, and we would talk about a certain industry getting a $1 million contract and what that would mean. Once I did a great job, I was able to connect that one contract to everybody in the room in some way, shape, and form. But so you get this contract, and so what does that mean to you? Graphic designers, whatever. It could be real estate. You may need to increase the physical size of your business. It's equipment, it's personnel, it's insurances. So all those things, and even if it's not a big part of it, that company is suddenly going to need possibly different kind of accounting services, or maybe an internal or a part-time CFO. So all these different things, again, like I said earlier, managing expectations. Tier 1 is difficult to get, but you get to tier 2, and there are all kinds of opportunities that you can get at tier 3, tier 4. Not everybody counts those as part of their LGBT spend. They don't roll up all the time. But if you're already dealing with a company that is certified in some fashion, chances are they are going to look to work with other certified businesses as well, just to support the ecosystem, if you will. So I didn't want to just blow past this slide because I think it's important for us, when we think about this, think in multiple dimensions, and not just think it straight through a contract and that's the end of it, but where does it go and how many different businesses can it touch? So thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. And I think one of my examples last time was knowing that there was this big marketing firm that got the contract for the state lottery, but they immediately started looking for diverse businesses for legal advice, or to bring on a legal team. Also like the printer, so lots of opportunities there. And they're very intentional about it because it kind of is part of the agreement or contract. So let's talk more about the Houston LGBTQ plus Chamber of Commerce and your benefits of membership.
Yeah. So, in addition to all the the fees for certification being waived, once you become a member of our chamber, you can get yourself listed on our online directory. We find a lot of people utilize that, especially folks that relocate to Houston. They'll be always hitting up our chamber directory, but we also encourage like our corporate partners to check out the directory on a regular basis. You can also be a part of our robust calendar of events, both educational programming we put on, as well as all the networking opportunities. We have a specific Facebook that is for members only, where folks can post their events, their specials, upcoming opportunities, and kind of promote their businesses both through Facebook and LinkedIn. And we also are part of a bigger, larger economic area in Houston. We realize that a lot of our partners don't just do business in the Houston market, but it actually spreads beyond Houston just because of where we're situated and how many corporate partners we have. And, one success story I want to share is that like Wells Fargo, we have a number of corporate partners that have intentional supplier diversity initiatives. And one of our founding members, Bocce Engineering and Construction, actually worked with United because of their certification. They were able to make a connection through our chamber and get a contract to work with them. And then not just the supplier diversity folks, but also think about those employee resource groups that many of these companies have. I work with them regularly. More recently, just this last Pride, one of our groups was buying over 500 t-shirts for their Pride Parade entry. And we encouraged them to purchase through one of our chamber members who happens to be a certified business that does promo printing for things like t-shirts. And instead of ordering them online, they bought local. They also bought with this person and got them inside their company's portal. Once they're in the portal, anyone else from that company can make a purchase now that they've done the paperwork to be part of that company's portal. So once you're in the door, who knows how many other purchases you might get from that company once you make that connection. And it came through the employee resource group instead of not only the supplier diversity people.
Brian, you are exactly right about that. You could start with that ERG, get in that portal, and then all of a sudden have access to any and all events, groups. Oh gosh, yeah, you're totally right about that. Great stories, great success stories. So benefits of being a member of the North Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. So directory listings again, and we have directories on our chamber website, in our quarterly digital magazine Inside Out, and in our annual printed guide. Access to 6 or more networking events per month across North Texas, and local business growth programs and partnerships that we do. We have about 60 LGBTBEs in our membership, and we have about 60 LGBT-owned businesses that are not certified. So we could pretty easily double the number of LGBTBEs we have. Looking at something coming up, the third part of this series will be October 22nd, and I'll have more information about that at the end. And I would say our success stories include, we have a staffing company that does contract directly with AT&T. We don't have a lot of prime contractors. We have a spice company that got picked up by Walmart and some grocery stores. They were also included now at the FC Dallas concessions. And so a lot of times, say if a Dallas Mavericks reaches out to us, or FC Dallas, someone who's being very intentional about including diverse owned businesses, we get to recommend our members to apply for those types of things. We have a business who conducts surveys and serves as a tier 2 supplier to PepsiCo. We have a supply chain management company that is bidding on a contract with the U.S. Navy.
How about property management? One that you would never think that being certified would help you get.
Yeah,
we have one.
That's right. So here in Dallas, Aid Services of Dallas, they provide housing for people impacted by or living with HIV/AIDS. And so they have these housing complexes, and they were looking for a property manager, and they looked in our directory, and they found Key Property Management. And so that's a nice little, which is LGBT owned business, and hopefully we can get them certified. But yeah, another nice little perk. So, and then speaking of ERG, so Mario attended our new member showcase last month where he met LGBT owned bakery, bar service, caterer, DJ, the event space where we had it. So you never know, you could have these corporate people come in who are planning the next event or looking for food or looking for entertainment. So very important connections to make there. So this is a little bit older data that we have, but I think we're working on some newer data. The NGLCC is working on newer data. But if you look at the LGBTQ economy, where we would be the 10th largest world economy, contributing over $1.7 trillion to the U.S. economy. That number is, I'm sure, way bigger now. But contributing to jobs, innovation, building wealth, expanding diversity in the LGBTQ plus community. But we took a look at these little bit older numbers, and we're able to kind of estimate that there are over 100,000 LGBTQ owned businesses in Texas, probably 30,000 in North Texas, and probably 22,000 in Harris County, which obviously is not even, Houston serves even bigger area than that. But there's so much potential and so many numbers that we could continue to grow and get bigger. So here's more about America's LGBTQ economy. A few more statistics, and this study was conducted in 2016. So you can imagine that these numbers have grown since. Ryan, did you have any other data that you wanted to contribute?
Oh yeah, we know that the LGBT community is an important part of the Houston community, and right now we have about 45 members who are certified as LGBTBE, but we have been on a campaign lately to try and increase that number considerably. So I know my colleague Jack has been relatively busy this summer doing site visits. So we encourage folks to definitely get that certification.
Yeah, I mean, you're like us. We just have so much more potential to certify so many more businesses. And we're in a difficult state like Texas where maybe not everybody feels like they can. Oh, yes, Maureen. Where maybe not everybody feels comfortable and safe being certified. And I know NGLCC has some more information about that.
To that point, Lisa, I realize that folks do sometimes worry about being sort of public with that certification, but I also know that our corporate partners are clamoring for LGBT specifically. They're going through their data, finding a gap, and saying we need more LGBTBE certified businesses so that we can be intentional. And they're asking us for those types of businesses, and we don't always have them. So we are trying to get the corporates to make it clear, if you come out, we will support you. So that message is clearly sent from these corporate partners, because otherwise folks may not always feel comfortable doing that certification. But we really think from what we're seeing, they're ready to do business. They just need that certification to move forward.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for saying that. In our first workshop that we did, and we had an LGBTBE speak, that one that I didn't record, we had a BE speak exactly to that, because she's certified as woman-owned, veteran-owned, and LGBT-owned. And when she's introducing herself, and she would have people say, LGBT, I need that. So exactly, we've heard it firsthand. So just to wrap up with a little bit more about NGLCC and some of the collaborations that they have, this is one of the most powerful ones, in my opinion. So the National Business Inclusion Consortium includes NGLCC, and I just want to read these for you in case you can't see them very well. It includes the U.S. Black Chambers of Commerce, Disability In, United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, United States Pan-Asian American Chamber of Commerce, We Connect International, and the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, WeBank. So very important collaboration. These organizations represent over $9 trillion in annual consumer spending power. So many of these diverse chambers also offer their own diverse certifications and have local chambers in regions across the country. So we're just better when we work together, and we're going to see some roadblocks to supplier diversity. And I'm just glad that we have the business consortium to help us advocate. Specific to NGLCC, they have a Communities of Color initiative. That's been really fun for me to watch and attend the events and watch the business owners pitch and grow and people connect there. The mission of the Communities of Color initiative is to support the growth and success of minority LGBTQ owned businesses through certification, business development by creating equal opportunities for the economic advancement and the empowerment of the minority LGBTQ business community. So the NGLCC has scholarships available for minority owned businesses, and that's done in partnership with Wells Fargo. So we do have a couple of people of color who have applied and gotten this type of scholarship. It covers your first year of membership dues with your local affiliate chamber, and that also waives your certification fee. So there's a QR code if you're interested in applying. And another initiative going on at the NGLCC is the Transgender and Gender Expansive Initiative, the TGX. So we did a program with Wells Fargo that we had TGX owned businesses do a pitch. It wasn't a competition, it was just a workshop, and they got feedback on their pitch. The mission of TGX is to convene a group of diverse leaders that will improve and advise upon efforts to produce goods and services from transgender, gender nonconforming, non-binary, and gender expansive business owners, with the ultimate goal of economic empowerment for some of the most vulnerable yet most innovative members of the LGBTQ plus community. So there are also scholarships available. That's also in partnership with Wells Fargo, and the scholarship covers the same thing. First year membership dues, which waives your certification fee. And I believe we have some members who are on that scholarship as well. So here is some contact information for the NGLCC, and I can share this with you too if I'm going too fast. Here is North Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce and Greater Houston LGBT. We're happy to put that in the chat or reach out with any questions, and I can follow up with you. At this point, do we have any questions or comments or feedback from our attendees? Morris, your hand is up, but I think it's old. I don't think it's been right. I think it's been up for a little bit.
It is old.
Okay. I don't know how to take it down.
I don't either.
I can say I've been filling in as we go, and this has been very helpful. I appreciate all of you guys.
Oh, good, good.
Say the same thing.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we got to do this, and we got to do it because Wells Fargo made it happen. So I'm very, very grateful for Wells Fargo, for NGLCC, for putting together an initiative that really helps us be efficient and effective. And so glad to share this with our friends at Greater Houston LGBTQ plus Chamber of Commerce, and look forward to working together and wish all the best. And, so glad that you're here today.
Thank you all for having us, and thanks everyone for what you're doing to keep Texas moving forward and advancing equality here.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Um,